Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Balance the Chaos with Sophie, and today's video is going to be a crafty creation where I'm going to show you guys how I created a necklace from scratch. Be sure to stay to the end to see the final results. Alright, so let's begin disassembling this old necklace. It was a 3-tier necklace that was my mom's. And she gave it to me for the sole purpose to reuse these beads. So we're going to start off by cutting the thread and then begin to separate the beads so that it's easier for me to bag the beads separately and put them away and then use them for future jewelry creations. Now that the necklace is disassembled, I'm just separating the beads that I plan to be using for this video and then bagging the rest of them and putting them away. Now let's start to create our charms. So I'm just taking the eye screw pin and then I'm just going to stick that into the bead hole, and then I'm going to take my B7000 glue and just put glue into the gap of the bead and the screw pin, and then once that is done, I'm going to set that aside and let it dry for 24 hours. Now that it's the next day and everything is dried and ready to go, I'm now taking the open jump ring and I'm going to start attaching that to the charms and then continue the same process over again for the other ones. So now that we finished making our charms, we're moving on to creating our necklace. So I'm just taking this silver chain and I'm just eyeballing for the amount that I think I'm going to be needing to use for this necklace, and then begin the process of adding on our charms to the chain. So once our charm is attached to the chain, I'm just going to count 5 of the loops and then detach it from the rest of the excess chain, and then setting both of those aside so that we can start making our next charm. So now I'm just setting aside a few eye pins for the next type of charms I'm going to be making, and then as well as setting up my beads so that it's easier for me to just pick and grab them. So we're just going to pick up my tweezer nose pliers and pick up the eye pin to start creating our next type of charm. Now with our handy dandy beadsmith one-step loop tool, we're going to close off the charm. Guys, I highly recommend you guys getting this. Link is in the description. This is a life changer. It changed the game for me when it came to creating my own jewelry. It just makes everything faster and less time consuming. I'm also going back in and using my tweezer nose pliers just to close the loop and make sure it's completely secure and ready to be attached to the chain. Now that our charms are connected, I'm taking the chain that we had set aside earlier and attaching it to the big charm with the open jump ring. And then once that's closed and secure, we're going to count out 5 loops to make sure that it's an even distribution between chain and charm, and then get ready to add our next charm to the pattern of our necklace. So I made sure to count around 15 to 20 loops on both ends, but on the pearl side, once I counted out the 15 to 20, I ended by putting another open jump ring and then adding a small extension onto it so that I can make it adjustable in size, and then ended with another open jump ring. And then on the other side, instead of putting another extension, I just put the lobster clasp onto the ring. So here is the final look. I decided to go with the pattern of like the big bead with the small beads on either end, and then have the smaller beads in the middle meet, and then continue the pattern around.